Hello, back in the kitchen. Without further ado, today we're gonna do a elk stew, my style. I have no other name for it. It's kind of a stroganoff sort of thing. But fresh elk, found it. It's terrific. Look how lean. There we go. I don't know how many of you can see that. All right. Not an ounce of fat on this thing. There's 3/4 pounds of this elk. The rest of the ingredients we will explain to you as we go along. First thing, we're going to start to cut this elk into small stripes, just like this. Make sure you have a sharp knife. This portion is enough for 2 people comfortably. Okay, and what we're going to do as a side today for this wonderful elk stew, stroganoff, Swiss chef kind of thing. Rhizo mixed pilaf. Yummy, 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 this stuff. And we're gonna add some English peas. But anyhow, let's move on. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. These are onions actually. We cut the stems off. And you can leave as much stem as you want, actually. And the same you are gonna do with your carrots. These are these baby carrots. Basically, just put them in 3 pieces, and that's all you need. And then I have an elephant garlic here. I just cut it into rounds, just like so, as thin as you can. If you saw Goodfellas, then you see how thin some Italians can cut garlic. Anyhow, I'm not even that good, so I do the best I can. Doesn't have to be chopped finely, unless that's something you want to do. In regards of the elk, now, if you're not an elk person, but I can tell you one thing, elk has a mixture between like a pork or beef in kind of taste. It's normally not as gamey as some of the deer or venison. If you don't like game, feel free, you can do the same with beef. So disregard, follow the recipe, put some other meat in there, that's fine. Up to you, I know what's good. So anyhow, and then last but not least, mushrooms. These were foraged in the farm here in Florida. These, they smell fantastic, honestly. So these, they are already washed, destemmed, and later we just chop them into 4 pieces and add them to the stew. That's about it. So we start cooking. The seasoning of the meat, just to fry it first, only 2 things, paprika or paprika. I choose the sweet one. You can put abundant. This is not spicy, okay? So don't be worried. And the second one is spicy, so you need to be careful, and I don't know if you may find it or not. This is called ajika or ajika. It's a spice from the Republic of Georgia. Not Georgia, US, but Republic of Georgia. And also that, I put a little bit because otherwise this is gonna end up quite spicy. All right, that's it. This is the motto here, right here, so that you know, okay? If you hear some screaming in the background, that's my son. He's part of the program. He's part of the family does this. So let's go and cook. All right, here we have a stove on, we turn on medium heat. So I choose New Zealand butter. I like New Zealand butter, I like Irish butter, I like French butter, fleur de sel, but I don't want to have any salted butter here, so this is sweet butter. Little bit, a nice piece of butter and a little bit of grapeseed oil, or you can use vegetable oil or whatever oil you will like. All right, our butter and oil are now sizzling here. Time to add the elk. Now I suggest don't put the whole amount in it, because you want to make sure that these are fairly evenly fried. So this is about, there's still some parts are quite raw, which is fine, but it's nicely browned, as you can see. And this is the pot we're gonna make the stew in. So this meat goes in there and stays in there, and we put the rest of the meat. Look at the quality of this meat. This is fantastic. Look at the color. This is fresh. And by the way, so that you know, this meat has practically 0 cholesterol. I mean, it's very healthy. Don't brown it too much. It has to remain tender. In go the veggies, garlic, onions, and carrots. All of them. Yep. All of the goodies. Oh, I forgot to cut a carrot. Oh, now it's cooked. All right. So you still cook this on high heat until it sizzles. And then we're gonna add our broth. Now, as there is no venison broth or deer broth or whatever, I have chosen beef broth. You can actually use chicken or probably best vegetable, but I'm using this because I want a little bit more of taste. It's a little bit more of saltiness inside this, this broth. So, and the rest will then be water. All right, so we're starting to add that. And now that we're adding this, we're gonna cook it at high heat for a little while until it bubbles up. And in the meantime, we start with sage. I said basil on the last video. Had to correct it. Very, very embarrassing. Chef doesn't know the difference. I put some sage. People usually put some thyme, but then I'm different. Okay. Green Goddess is something I got at that store, and it's really nice, but you can take a multi-herbal kind of spice. This is very nice. Then I add a little bit of salt, rock salt as ever, and a little bit of pepper, freshly ground pepper, not fresh pepper, otherwise you're gonna have to pick it, and a little bit more of paprika. And we are good to go, man. All right, so now we're gonna make this cook nicely. Nicely. Oh, that carrot is still all, oh well, it will become softer after a few hours and easy to eat. There you go, you see what happens now. Now we wait until we have this on a boil. This is the time I'm gonna add the meat. Sorry guys, I don't want to obscure the view, but take everything you have in that pan, everything. Scrape it out, scrape it out. You want all that juice in there. You don't want to miss anything. Now, this meat, obviously, needless to say, needs to be covered. And whoops, what happened? Not enough liquid. Remedy for that? Little Penguin Pinot Noir. Can be any Pinot Noir, can be a Merlot, can whatever you like. All right. Cover it. Yes, you're gonna all be smacked when you eat that. Okay. And now we're gonna let this cook. I know it doesn't have to be covered, but if you want to cover it, you can cover it. Now, here's a trick. To bind the sauce, I could have made a roux, or I could have put flour in here. I like some brown gravy that is ready to go, because it binds it just fine. And yes, not very sophisticated, but you want to do this quickly at home. You don't want to bother with all that extra stuff. So I'm going to add this into our stew. There you go. You have to distribute this, that you don't want any knots in there or clumps or however you want to call that. But the humidity and the heat will take care of it. So see, now you already have a nice gravy, and all these flavors are going to be united in the love for food. All right, while I wait, about 2 hours, maybe longer, but 2 hours for sure. Why not? I go relax. I'll be back later. Just to add a little bit to it, as a comment, probably best you cook it on medium to lower heat, not on high heat, because you want to slow cook this and give the meat and the ingredients just the time to absorb and for the meat to get tender. So putting it on high heat would probably not be the right way to go. That's an important factor I left out before, but well, now you know. Now go back to relax. Okay, this stuff has been simmering for almost 2 hours, and now it's time to add all the onions in it, the mushrooms. Okay, and now it's also the time to add a little bit of the cream. Yeah, there we go. Okay, how much cream you put in that is actually your problem or your decision. Sorry, your problem. It's never a problem when it's good, isn't it? So let's see how that transpires. We are almost ready to do our rice. While this is still cooking, I think we need another 15 to 20 minutes to integrate all this flavor into this wonderful stew. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, we're preparing the rice, orzo. We put that in when it's sizzling, like now. There you go. And we brown it just like we would do with a risotto. Same kind of principle. If the rice is brown, da la 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 la, California dreaming. My wife has no sense of humor, but then she's from the Philippines, so we have to understand that. Okay, it's browning, browning, brown. My wife is extremely funny. You know, thank God I married her, because otherwise you could have ended up with her. So, yeah, there you go. See, we like these interactions when we do videos, because just food is boring. You know, she's very hungry, so she wants to eat. Can you blame her? Nope. Okay, now, where are we here? Yep. Okay. It's almost time to add the water. This is nicely browned like risottino. And now we're gonna add the water to it. Okay. Voila, like the French say. Now you have to cook this on medium to low heat for 20 minutes and it's ready to be served. Cover or no cover? That's the question. For those who studied Shakespeare. I am what I am. I don't know who wrote that. You know, what's wrong with having fun when cooking? Ooh. Yummy. Almost ready for you. We got these English peas from London town. You gotta put some in there. I love peas. Okay, now we're gonna cover the simmering what? Here it is. And all the goodies inside. So, let's try this. I grab. This is good. Do it. Do it at home. Love this. As always, cheers. This time from Florida. Stay safe. Keep eating. Love you. Cheers.